I wish I were taller. They tell me I can't stand up on that, or else they'll do something unspeakable to me. So.
You're tall in our eyes.
Thank you. It is such a joy and pleasure to be here with Kate and all of the Equality Maryland staff. I am so impressed with this organization. I've read about you and admired you from afar, and it is my deep honor to be here, to be a part of this effort tonight. And I am so impressed with the delegates and senators with whom I've met today, and these amazing people that I have the honor of sharing the platform with. Your courage and your witness just inspire me. But mostly I'm impressed by you. You are an astounding and beautiful group of people, and it is my sheer honor to be here with you. I have to be honest with you. I'm here as a religious person, in case you didn't know that already. And I want to say to you, as at least one representative of the church, that God never gets it wrong, but churches and synagogues and mosques and others often do. And not too very many years from now, the church and mosque and synagogue will repent of what it has done to us in the past and continues to do to us in the way that we have repented of our participation in slavery and our denigration of women and all sorts of other things. I'm also here to tell you that I know that a lot of you are religious people. You are spiritual people. And I'm here to tell you that it's time that we took the Bible back. Because so many have taken that book, that holy book, hostage and used it to beat up on us. And it is the last thing in the world that God would want. So let me, and one of the reasons that we need to take it back as gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people is it's full of our stories. We're in there. Did you notice? I'll tell you one of the places that we show up. One of the greatest coming out stories of all time is the Exodus story. Right? We all know what it's like to be in slavery. Right? We know what it's like to be told that we are unworthy and that we have to be slaves in Egypt. And we know what it's like to have someone come and say, there's a promised land where things will be right and where things will be godly and things will be done God's way and every child of God will be loved. And we know what it's like to finally summon up the courage to leave Egypt and to head for the promised land. We also know what it's like to get to the Red Sea and think, oh my God, what have I done? The chariots are coming up fast from behind. The Red Sea is deep and wide, and there is not a prayer we're going to get across. Now, I actually am of the opinion that Cecil B. DeMille got this wrong in the Ten Commandments. I don't know if you remembered it or not. It's one of your great Charlton Heston movies, right? So Moses gets up to the Red Sea, and I think he probably parts his hands like this, and the waters just roll back, and right ahead of you is like an interstate highway of dry land. Here's what I actually think happened. I think Moses got up to the Red Sea, and nothing happened. And Moses put his foot forward and down into the edge of the water, and just before it touched the water, a little bit of water parted, and he touched dry land. And then he picked up his next foot and he put it forward. But instead of touching water, it touched a little piece of dry land. And step by step, in faith, they made it to the other side. And they didn't have an easy highway, and they couldn't even see the other side when they started. But they just kept going one step at a time, trusting that God would see them through. You and I know about that kind of stepping forward, don't we? Not knowing where it's going to end, and not knowing always what the other side is even going to look like. And then, if you remember the story, the Israelites get to the other side. They think the promised land is going to be right on the other side. And what's there? It's a desert. 40 years of desert. And they get so hopeless that they begin to even wonder if maybe they shouldn't go back. They begin kind of mourning for what they left. They begin to think about all the, the garlic and spices and all the good food. Okay, well, maybe we were in slavery, but at least the food was good. And then God does this amazing thing. God provides manna for the journey. Just enough for that day, but it's enough to get them through. And ultimately, they make it to the promised land. That's our story. That is our story. You and I know what it's like to get so frustrated and so down by the way we're treated that sometimes we want to go back, but we know that that's not where life is. That's where death is. And so we keep moving forward in faith, just one step at a time. Those are our stories. And if you are a person of faith, find the stories in your religious texts, whatever your holy texts are, and tell them. And reclaim them. They can't have the Bible to themselves anymore. It's our Bible.